Brian, have you ever interviewed Dacher Keltner,
No.
professor at UC Berkeley?
Mm-mm.
He is one of my favorite interviews I've ever done on the show, and I was introduced to him by Susan Cain and Scott Barry Kaufman. But he wrote this book on awe, and I'm going to tie this into your book.
Okay.
As he was doing the study of what causes us to feel, most people think it's the birth of a child or looking at some painting or some piece of nature.
Sure.
But what he found examining prisoners at San Quentin who you wouldn't think would have any semblance of was that we find it the most common when we're either observing someone else performing an act of service to someone else or we ourselves are performing that act.
Mm.
And in today's society, we spend so much time being individualistic that we rarely look outside to help those in need. And I think we both feel that this needs to change for the greater good. What is something that people could take away from our discussion today to take that step to make that change?
Well, first off, I really like the point that you just made. And I think I've talked about this a little bit before, just as we were talking about the Confederacy earlier. I'm a big believer in the necessity of removing most of the Confederate statues that went up not immediately after the Civil War, but in the early 1900s, and then actually a good chunk of them during the Civil Rights Movement or during the height of Jim Crow, as a protest, effectively, of federal power to integrate society and to uphold the ideas in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Uh, all of which is to say, while I believe most of these statues need to come down, I think it also says something about where we are as a society that we struggle to put new statues up of people that we admire, of people whose works of service or greatness or courage or sacrifice bring us to that point of awe. I was just in New Orleans. As it happens, I remember I was in New Orleans visiting when they took down the statue of Robert E. Lee in what is called Lee's Circle, one of the more egregious middle fingers of the Confederacy, that the lost cause mythology, the idea of putting that statue up. But here we are now, several years later, and there is just a giant empty pedestal pointing up in the sky with no figure on it. As I took my two boys to the World War II Museum, which is just about a block or so away, it struck me that museum was filled with the stories of people who deserve to be up on that pedestal, countless men and women. What we need to do a better job of as a society, if we want people to act with justice, with courage, with self discipline and wisdom, is to do a better job celebrating the examples of when they got it right. And of course, also talking about the examples when we got it wrong. And so, what one of the things I'm trying to do in this book and in the whole series is just find those examples and celebrate them, put them up in a way that the choice of Hercules that they made can be held up for review for the rest of us, so that in our own smaller moments, our own smaller crossroads moments, we can make a similar choice. And so maybe that's a good place to start for people, is just who are some of your heroes and what did they do? What were the values that led them? And how are you integrating that into your own life? And how are you modeling your own decisions after the example that they have left for us?